Claude Code tutorial for non-coders. Artificial intelligence tools are becoming more powerful every year, and Claude is one of the easiest AI systems to use, even if you've never written a single line of code. Built by Anthropic, Claude is designed to understand instructions in plain English and help you build, edit, analyze, and automate tasks without technical knowledge. In this beginner-friendly walkthrough, you'll understand how to use Claude for code style tasks without actually being a coder. This tutorial is perfect if you're a freelancer, student, small business owner, or content creator who wants automation without programming skills. So first, let's go over what is Claude and why non-coders should care. Claude is an AI assistant similar to ChatGPT, but it's especially strong at understanding long documents, explaining technical things simply, writing structured content, generating and editing code, even if you don't understand it. For non coders, this means you can describe what you want in normal language, and Claude will generate the technical output for you. For example, instead of writing code, you can say, create a simple website with a contact form. So let's paste in the prompt and show you. You can simply write, create a simple website with a contact form, send that in, and Claude is going to write that code for you. So you don't need to understand every line of the code that Claude writes. All you need to know is how to use it. So you're going to take that code from Claude. You're just going to describe what you want. Claude is going to write the code for you. You're going to take that code from Claude. You don't need to understand what the code says. All you need to know is how you're going to use this code and what section deals with what. Now, you can even ask Claude to explain that code to you in the sections. So Claude might explain every section to you, what each section deals with. You can put in a prompt explaining to Claude that you don't understand the code and you want it to explain the code to you like you're a beginner. So you'll understand the gist of it. You'll get a summary of what the code is dealing with and what each section deals with. And then, of course, you'll know how to use the code and how you can get a website from that code. So that was just a brief explanation of how you're going to be using Claude. In order to get started with Claude, first of all, go to your web browser, type in Claude AI, and then go down and go to Claude here. Enter in your email information or continue with Google. And then once you successfully create your account and you log in, this is the area where you will land. And this is what it's going to look like. This is a very nice and neat, clean, distraction-free interface. And when you're inside, you'll see that you have a chat interface. So it works like a messaging app, and all you do is you type the instructions and Claude responds to those questions or instructions immediately. And that is it. No installation is required. You don't need to set anything up. No coding software is required. None of that. It is just as simple. So if you can type a message and you can send a message, like type a message here and just send it in, then you can use Claude. Now let's go over Claude Code. When people say Claude Code, they usually mean using Claude to generate a code or fix a code or explain a code or turn ideas into technical scripts. But here's the key. You don't need to know coding in order to do any of that. Claude over here acts as your technical translator. So instead of putting in a complicated code, you can say something like this over here. You can say, write a simple function that calculates 15% tax on a price. And then after putting in that description or request or prompt, all you need to do is wait, and Claude handles the rest. Your job is to describe what you want very clearly, and the rest is up to Claude. So giving the instructions part is very, very important. And for that, you need to know how to give proper instructions. So non-coders struggle not because they can't code, but because they don't give clear instructions. And here is a simple formula to follow so that you can give better instructions. This is the formula. I'm just going to paste that in, and this is what you need to consider. So you want to enter in what you want. Enter in information on what it is that you want exactly. Then where it will be used, then add any specific requirements. So make sure you're including this specific information. You're going over these 3 points, and this is the main formula that you should follow to be able to provide clear instructions. Now, let me give you an example of a bad prompt. A bad prompt over here would be asking Claude to create a website. So if that's your prompt here, all you're going to put in is create a website, then that is a really bad prompt. And once you submit that in, you're going to get a really bad result. So you're not going to get a nice result. This is absolutely very, very vague. And instead of this, you should be putting in something like this. So this is a better prompt, which I'm putting in here. It says, create a simple one-page HTML website for a freelance graphic designer. Include a hero section, services section, and contact form. So this is the information that you want to put in. This is according to the formula I told you, and these are very clear instructions and very clear directions on what it is that you want. So this over here is a bad prompt. This one is a better one. So there's a very clear difference between the two. The more specific you are, the better Claude performs, the better results you're going to get. Now let's go over a similar use case that a non-coder would go through. So instead of writing a prompt like build a simple website, so instead you want to enter in create a clean one-page website for a digital marketing agency. Use simple HTML and CSS. And then when you enter in a prompt like that one, which is clear and detailed, Claude will generate the HTML structure, it will generate the styling, the sections, the layout. All you need to do is copy the code and then paste it into your notepad or VS Code or any free online HTML editor. So you're going to paste the code there, save it as index.html, and then open it in your browser. And with that, your website will be live locally. So no coding knowledge was required for that. All you had to do was clearly describe what you wanted, put in a good prompt, not a vague prompt like this one, which is a bad prompt, but use a clear description, add in details, and make sure you add in clear instructions of what it is that you exactly need. And then Claude will take care of the rest and it will provide you with the code. So you just need to be aware of the instructions you are providing. Now let's create automation scripts and move towards that. So for instructions on creating an automation script, in here you're going to write in, for example, write a simple Google Sheets script that automatically calculates total sales when new numbers are added. So let's erase this and put in that prompt, paste it here. Here we go. Write a simple Google Sheets script that automatically calculates total sales when new numbers are added. And that is a good prompt over here. Good instructions, everything is clear and indicated. And then once you enter in something like that, Claude will write the script. It will explain where to paste it, and it will also explain how to run it. So all you need to do is follow the instructions step by step. Even if you don't understand the code, you can still use it. Like I said before, take the code. You can even ask Claude to explain the code to you simply, or explain what each section of the code does. And that is basically all you need to know. You just need to know how to handle the code. You don't need to know each line and go into the detail of what each line represents on the code. Now, with Claude, you can also turn business ideas into tools. So let's say, for example, you want a basic invoice generator, or you want a pricing calculator, or maybe a customer form. All you need to do is just describe it. So let's go ahead and describe it. Let's remove this and paste in our next instructions. It says, create a simple invoice generator using HTML and JavaScript. And then after those clear instructions, Claude is going to build it. You are going to use it, even though you did not code it. So, as simple as that. Now, in a case where something breaks, all you need to do is copy that error. Copy that error, paste it into Claude, and say, I don't understand this error. Please fix it and explain simply. So, up here is going to be the error, and down here, you're going to write down, I don't understand this error. Please fix it and explain simply. And then Claude here will identify the issue. It will rewrite the fixed version and it will explain that in plain English to you. So it becomes your debugging assistant in a way. And then if sometime you don't understand a code, you can ask Claude to explain the code to you. This is very important for non-coders. If Claude gives any complex output, say, explain this like I'm a beginner with zero coding knowledge. Or you can ask it to add comments in the code explaining what each section does, just like I've told you before. So that way you can stay in control and Claude will rewrite everything in simple language. So if you want to build tools fast, you need automation without hiring developers, are testing startup ideas, are freelancing, Claude lowers the technical barrier. You don't need programming skills, you need clarity, and practicing is going to give better prompts.